Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to be showing you how to make the floor plan for floors 2 through 5 in the Diagrid building. We already have the first floor done. This is the final project. If I pull up level 1, it should look like what you have already done, except it won't be colored in. So if we go to level 2, you'll see that the only thing that's changing in each of these drawings are the red beams, and the blue beams will become smaller, but all the green, purple, and orange are going to remain constant throughout all the floor plans. So, just to give you an understanding, you can see the slanted columns here, the white, but only the colored beams in this view are the actual beams which we're going to be drawing in. So we can start by, this is 2.5 feet, where I can show you a call-out view. This is a close-up of the second floor corner. So each of these smaller beams is 5 feet total. The midpoint is along the grid line. And that pattern is going to stay the same throughout the whole second floor in each grid square. Then we go to level 3. You'll see that all the beams are the same size. Go to the call-out, we have more dimensions. Each of these beams is 10 feet long. Some will be centered, or some will be centered along the grid line. Then we can go to level 4. You'll see it'll be similar to the second floor, but kind of opposite. So if we go to the level 4 callout, each of these beams is 5 feet long, and each of these is 15 feet long. The 15-foot one is centered along the grid line. And then we have the level 5, which is similar to the level 1 plan. They're all 20 feet long, but they're centered along the grid line instead of being centered in between the grid lines. So let's get started. I'm going to open the tutorial file that I've used to make these videos. We already have the level 1 plan done. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by copying all of these beams, select all, filter, so we're only grabbing the beams or structural framing, apply, copy that to clipboard. Then we're going to align to selected views. We're just going to start with the first 5 for now, levels 2 through 5. Click OK. And now, if I go to the 3D view, yes, all the 5 floors are now there. But you notice that those aren't right. You know, you can see them sticking out of the slanted columns like we want them to. So let's go to start with the second floor. Now there's a few ways we can do this. We could align these up. And you have to make sure when you're dimensioning these beams that you can't just rely on the column midpoints. You can in the second floor, but that's only because it's the first. When we get later on, you won't be able to. So you have to check the dimensions. Make sure you're checking the dots, not just the arrows. And make sure that they are the right dimensions, that they're all, each of these long ones will be 15 feet once they're done. And I'm checking tab, I'm just going to check the dimensions. Actually, what I'm going to do first is we're going to create the floor for the second floor. Going to choose the same floor I did last time, 3-inch concrete, 2-inch metal deck. But instead of doing this square, we're going to have to trace these out line by line because these are not going to be square this time. These are going to have little indentions along each of the corners. So we want that to be 2.5 feet. (45°). Just checking real quick and make sure it's 2'6". I'm gonna keep tracing this all around the second floor. I'm going to change the span direction to one of the longer horizontal sides. Check mark. Now I have my floor done. So now what I can do is use this to help me place my columns, because I know they're going to be along that floor endpoint. Kind of went out of order here, but my goal is to just pick two sides of this, and then I'm going to mirror it over to the other side, and I'm going to add smaller columns in between these other columns here, add smaller beams in between these columns here, so that they're each 5 feet long. That way the entire side is connected. There's other ways to do this. You could also delete all of the beams, all of the perimeter beams, and then just draw them in. I think I might do that for the next floor just to show you how that works, but whatever method you choose will work fine. And again, you can't rely on these midpoints for the next floors. Make sure to check the temporary dimensions there so everything looking right. They're 15 feet. There we go. Now I have them done for the south side and the west side. So I'm going to go ahead and add the beams in. First I'm going to check and see that this is the right size needed. Nope, I need 14 257. So I'm going to change these. 14 257. See justification. That's centered. And there we go, you see. Looks like I already made a mistake here. So, if you see, you can check the ruler here. Ruler's good at checking temporary dimensions. So that's right. I can check the ruler here. Something that is not right. So I'm gonna go ahead and check the south section, make sure there's nothing weird going on there. Oh, look at that, I made a mistake. Doesn't seem to affect the top view, so I must have just hit that by accident somewhere. So I'm gonna go back to the second floor. There we go, 5 feet. If you see an error like that, always check it as soon as you see it. I'm gonna draw these corners in here too. Make sure I'm only clicking the beams. Checking to make sure I'm not selecting the corner pieces. And I am, so I'm gonna hold down Shift. Just click on them so they're black. Looks like a lot of these are selected that shouldn't be. I'm gonna go ahead and change it to medium so they're more visible. So yeah, we see the little light slanted columns there, but and delete. Alright, now I'm going to mirror these across. Check and see if there's anything else. Nope, don't want the reference plane. Don't want structural columns. I'm gonna hit Control, because I don't want that corner piece there. Mirror pick axis, D. There we go, we have it on that side. Then I repeat it over here. Oh, well, forgot to do the extra smaller beams on that side, so gotta add those in. Okay, now let's try that again. Select all the beams on the left side. Alright, done. Let's add these little corner pieces. You gotta make sure to pull this piece here in too. You want it centered along that line, but the little arrows are automatically going to bring it in. And there we go, the second floor is now done. Save that, you can check it in the 3D view. And yes, it looks good. You can see that they're all right in between where they're supposed to be. So now we can go to the third floor.